you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O's, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O's, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network. He is Pierre McGuire. I am Jimmy Murphy. Pierre, how are you today?
I'm good. I've been compiling a list of the top 50 CHL players over the last 50 years for a ballot that's going in to celebrate the 50th anniversary of major junior hockey in Canada and the United States, actually. You know, you got people forget Marian Hossa played for the Portland Winterhawks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people forget Carey Price played for the Tri-City Americans. I mean, people forget that. There were really good teams in Seattle. There were really good teams in Spokane, Washington.
Yeah.
You know?
Our good friend Terry Ryan played in one of those teams you just mentioned, did he not?
Terry Ryan played in Tri-Cities, I think. If I remember correctly.
Yep. There we go.
So, anyways, the top part of the list is easy. You know, the top part's like you get Gretzky and Lemieux, like Potvin, Trottier. Those aren't hard. It's as you get past 10 and 15, they get harder, you know, because there are a lot of guys that have been very similar. One of the things that's interesting on the exercise that they've asked us to do that are on the committee is you actually can weigh in terms of what those people did after junior. So Stanley Cup, Hall of Fame, World Junior, Olympics, you know, so that comes into play too. So it's a fun. I like doing those exercises. Like you can see my books are. But I like doing those exercises because it makes you open up, and you want it. Like I don't care who get. I mean, I do care who gets in, but I care about doing it right.
Yep.
Like I'm not playing politics. I'm not taking phone calls saying, "Oh yeah, vote for my guy," or you know, like. So you sit in your office and you study and you watch and you study more and you watch and you break down. So you might have three guys that are pretty close in your own mind and say, okay, let's go look at the numbers and let's go look what they did after junior and let's go look if they played internationally and let's go look if they won when they played internationally. So it's all these different things. It's kind of a neat exercise.
So considering though, Pierre, because we were just speaking about it off air with our producer Shane, if the post junior career accomplishments do factor in, what do you do about the guys that were just amazing in juniors but never really parlayed it after that?
So there's an interesting thing.
There's a lot of them.
That's a great question by you. There's a few of them that never really parlayed into huge post-junior success, but they were amazing junior players, like amazing. There's a write-in ballot. You can write in candidates that you think should be in there. So you know, I think they send you a list of 90 players who you should consider. And I looked at the list a bunch today, so I like a lot of the names in there, but there's some that I'm thinking, maybe not. Maybe there are other guys that aren't on the list that might be better that I remember watching.
Yep.
So anyways, I enjoyed doing it. I'm going to finish it off probably by tomorrow morning, but I like doing these. They stimulate me.
And you've got the Hobie Baker list as well.
I do have the Hobie. That one won't be as hard, I don't think. But yeah, the Hobie Baker's a really cool thing. And then we have obviously the Hall of Fame stuff too.
Yeah. Well, busy man.
I've already put my nominees in for the Hall of Fame.
I know that stays between us, obviously, but I did like them. Anyhow, Pierre, I would say though, with the Hobie Baker, can you explain to our listeners and viewers just like, is there a number that each school is allowed, like 1, 2, or 3 players, or it's just random?
Could be as many as you want.
Okay, so there's
no limit. Makes a good player.
Yeah, looking at some of these teams right now off the top of my head, I'm just trying to think of guys. Yeah, there's some interesting names out there right now. I like that Detroit Red Wings prospect, Mr. Plant.
There's a few. Detroit's got a couple.
Yeah, they do. They do. All right. Well, let's get into this one, Pierre. I want to start out in Edmonton last night, where some history was made, where the Oilers became the first team to have defensemen in back-to-back games get hat tricks. And you and I were talking about this off the air this morning. And it's an amazing accomplishment. You know, credit to them, to Bouchard and Ekholm. It's great. No issues with it. I mean, it's great. It should be celebrated. I'm not disagreeing with that. But as we said, if we're looking at the Edmonton Oilers right now, I would much rather see them celebrate defensive accomplishments because I don't think they're getting anywhere until they do that. I just don't think they can come.
No, but you know what? I really like what Chris Knobloch did he asked if Ekholm had ever had a hat trick, and he said no, not that he could remember.
Mhm.
So he puts him out there for the second opportunity with the goalie pull by Anaheim. I think that's a
That was
classic
cool.
move. I think that's a really good move. Until they get it together, and if you watch the game, don't watch the tape.
Yep.
I told Jimmy, watch the game.
Yep.
You can see why Edmonton has foibles. And Anaheim just didn't have their A game last night.
No.
There were mistakes that were made. They had played so well over the previous 7 or 8 games. They just ran out of steam last night. And they made some mistakes. They're a young team too. They had marginal decision-making penalty kill. They lost body position a lot in certain situations. So there was just things that they could have been better. That's not Edmonton's fault. Edmonton played well, but you can see where the deficiencies are for Edmonton.
Yeah.
You can see.
And I'm interested to see if that's something they focus on as we approach the trade deadline, is getting players to help the team defense there. Pierre, the other thing I want to talk to you about too from last night, the Flyers. If you remember in Betway, I picked the Islanders to win that game. And one of the reasons I said was, look, the Flyers are coming in off a huge win off the road from a long road trip. It just seemed like that situational game that we've mentioned before, where it just looked like a perfect opportunity for the Islanders to pounce. And that's exactly what they did. But, when we look at the bigger picture right now with the Flyers and you look at where they are in their rebuild, it's been an interesting season. They in the beginning of the season, everybody was riding high down in Philly and almost, in my opinion, getting ahead of themselves. And I feel like right now, if you look at that team in terms of their rebuild, I actually feel they're a little behind. I don't think much behind, but a little behind. And I also think that there's some unwarranted criticism coming towards the coach right now because he did not put this team together. And he came in there with the full understanding that they were in the middle of a rebuild. He's going to help get these younger players better. I don't think any of the problems lately with the Flyers have to do anything with the coach. I just think it's the natural course of a rebuild, Pierre.
Well, people are mad because Mishkov's numbers aren't better than what they have been, and everybody expected him to be a superstar. That's how he was sold by the management group. We look how smart we are. We got the best player in the draft. Well, they didn't.
No.
It comes down to what we've talked about a lot. They oversold the player, and now the player is paying the price for that. And they didn't do it the right way because there's virtually no experience on that management team. And that's just, it's okay. They're learning now.
Yep.
They're learning now. And so that's part of it too. Ownership decided to go with guys that didn't have a lot of experience because they were Philadelphia Flyer guys that were popular in the community. And that's good too sometimes. It is. Yeah. It is good. I'm happy for those guys. They got an opportunity to do something very few people get the chance to do. And so now they've got this canvas to paint on, and it's going to take longer than the fans thought there.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Could they have used some more veteran experience around them when they were making decisions? Yeah. But it's okay. They're learning now their staff's 3 years in. So now going forward, they're not going to make the same mistakes.
Yeah. But do you agree with me though? This isn't on Talkit. It's just
no, you know that. I've known that.
Yeah.
I know how good a coach Rick is, and I know what he does. And people, Rick knows he's been in it for a long time. People are always going to throw slings and arrows at you. You just have to deal with it. If that's how you're going to run your team, worried about what people are going to say about you publicly or what they're going to write about you on the internet, then you're never going to last in this league.
Right.
That's just unfortunate, but some people can take it, some can't.
But the Mishkov thing, like you said, I mean, I don't know how you put that on the coach. That's not his fault with the Mishkov.
Well, no, they're mad because he's not producing the numbers, and they're saying, well, because he's playing him as a third-line player. Well, maybe the player should be a third-line player because the conditioning levels aren't too good right now.
Exactly.
So, there's a lot. And I don't blame the kid either. This is a hard league for young players. Ben Kindle's thriving in Pittsburgh, and everybody's like, look at Ben Kindle. Ben Kindle was the 11th player picked overall in his draft year. He had massive gaudy numbers with the Calgary Hitmen. But one of the reasons why he's thriving, there's a guy named Crosby there. There's a guy named Malkin there. There's a guy named Letang there. There's a veteran guy named Carlson there. And I'll just give you an example. The coach made a mistake one night in an overtime game. He put Kindle on the ice instead of Crosby because he was mad at Crosby from the previous game in an overtime that Crosby let his guy go. It was against San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kindle was on the ice to start the game, and he made a bad turnover that leads to a winning goal. So Pittsburgh loses back-to-back overtime games. Well, Erik Karlsson gave him the what for?
Yeah.
Just to get his attention. That
Yep.
never happened again.
There you go.
Got straightened out. Stuff
Yep.
happens. But Jimmy, I try to explain to you all the time when we're on the road together. This is a really hard business.
Yeah. It's a man's.
And until, all these people want to yell and scream about this guy and that guy and this guy and that guy. Those people are doing the yelling. I'd love to put them in charge for one day
Mm-hmm.
and to get scrutinized the way they do the scrutinizing and see how much they like it.
Yep. I'd agree. And speaking of scrutiny, and in good transition from the Pittsburgh Penguins there, Bryan Rust gets suspended for 3 games, Pierre.
No. What did you think?
I think it's too much.
Yeah, it's 1 game maybe. So this is a big, if you haven't seen it, because they didn't pick it up on TV either.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
It's at the end of a game. It's a 3-2 game. It's a scramble situation in front of Stuart Skinner. Game's running out of racetrack. And Brock Boeser gets a puck in the slot. Sidney Crosby converges on him. On one side, it's on Boeser's right side. From the left side, Bryan Rust is coming back, tracking. And from the inside in the middle is Rickard Rakell, the third member of that line with Crosby, Rust, and Rakell.
Mm-hmm.
So Crosby's reaching for the puck to the right. Boeser is looking to get it on goal, and Rust comes in. Rust's right shoulder makes contact with Boeser's head. No question, it does. But I don't see him left.
That's what I was going to say. That's the key.
Okay. But the other part that I don't think is talked about is the guy Rakell pushes from behind.
Exactly.
When he pushes from behind, it kind of forces Boeser down.
It made the
So it's like
impact.
a convergence of 3 guys on one, and it leads to that.
Yep.
Russ is, I don't believe, and Jimmy, if I'm wrong, please tell me. If we have people in the audience, please tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think Russ has ever been suspended.
He's never been suspended. And furthermore, did you see what he did in the immediate aftermath? He's
No, I have no idea.
He's making sure that he's okay.
Oh, I didn't. I
That's
don't know.
okay. I mean, he's leaning over. He was calling guys in to help Boeser. So
Yeah.
clearly there wasn't a tension there.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I remember working with the great legendary Doc Emmerich at Notre Dame, and we used to do 3 to 5 Notre Dame games a year.
Yep.
And Bryan Rust played at Notre Dame. And I would go in there, and my late friend Ray Sherrill would say, "Hey, can you give me a report on Rust after the game?" And I would write him an email report, how I used to write when I worked for him in Ottawa. And he goes, "Oh, good." And he liked some of the things I said, and some of the others he'd be mad at me. But anyways, I would always, the one thing I always say at the end of every scouting report that I sent, Ray, you'll never have a problem with the character of this player.
Yeah.
You'll never have a problem with the character of this player.
Yep.
Ever.
And Pierre, there's one thing you always tell me, and I hear you say it on the air a couple times too. Sometimes good people do stupid things.
Yeah.
This wasn't one of those instances. This was an accident to me. You can call it reckless if you want. I can see that a bit, but 3 games is.
So I would ask the people that made that decision, because most of them have played at a high level. I would think all of them have. What would you have done if you'd have been Bryan Rust in that situation, a 1-goal game with a chance to run the table on a West Coast road trip? Seattle, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver. What would you have done?
Mm-hmm.
Have reached in with your stick, or would you have played through the player?
Yep.
I guarantee you they would have said, I would have played through the guy. Well, so doesn't anything count? Like, okay, you want to suspend him for a game, I get it. And trust me, I'm a big Brock Boeser person, and I think I've shared it before.
Oh, yes. Yep.
I asked Brock Boeser to do me a favor for a young man that was at Ronald McDonald House in Vancouver that had cancer. And his mother was by herself with the young boy. And I asked her, "Who's your son's favorite player?" And she said, "Brock Boeser." I called Brock right away. I said, "Hey, I know you've been up against it. Can you do me a favor and just call the young man?" He goes, "Call him. I'm going to go there and I'm going to bring him a game jersey." And he went to the Ronald McDonald House in Vancouver and brought the young man a game jersey. The mother couldn't believe it. She called me up right away. She's like, "I can't believe this happened."
That's
said,
awesome.
that's the kind of guy he is. So, like, I'm a big Brock Boeser person, but you got to play through the guy. Like, that's just how it works.
That's the part of the game.
One game is what he should have got.
One game at the most. All right, we're in agreement on that. All right, Pierre, over to Toronto tonight.
Yes.
And look,
they better be ready to play because Buffalo.
You're going to tell me I'm being too extreme here. This is a do or die game for the Toronto Maple Leafs for me.
Yeah, it is, because guess what?
I know it's January 27th.
Guess what they have to do next? They got to go out west.
Exactly.
And
then it's the Olympic break.
Then it's the break. But, is Nylander going to be able to play soon?
We don't know.
So, Tanev going to be able to play soon?
We don't know.
No.
Carlo's in and out,
And, this is unfortunate. They're in a precarious position. And I will admit it. When the season started, I thought they were going to be really good.
I was there with you.
No, I got it wrong.
Yep.
I thought they were going to be really good.
That's what I'm on record as saying it.
I thought with adding Nicky Dubois, because they could have lost Marner for nothing. They actually brought a warm body back who can play, which is good. Scott Lawton has definitely played to the level I thought he would, which is good. I didn't know they were going to have the injury situations, especially on defense. Carlo being hurt, Tanev being hurt, OEL being hurt, Oliver Ekman-Larsson being hurt, McCabe missing some time. There's a lot there. I didn't know Stolarz was going to get hurt. Nobody knew Stolarz.
But everybody has injuries, Pierre. It's just
this is a team though that this is going to be a really this is an important game for them, like really important.
Huge. And Buffalo is,
and it's how they play too.
Yeah.
Because they didn't play great against Vegas, I'm
glad you said that, because I would think if they come out, let's say they lose in overtime, then I'll be okay with that. I'll say, you know what?
But if they get pumped 5-0, 6-2,
you gotta start thinking about selling.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. You bring up Nicholas Waugh there, and I forget who it was. I heard them talking on a show I was listening to. If you're Trey Living and you decide you are selling, he's got a year left on his contract right now after this season. I'm saying it right off the bat. I say no, I'm keeping him because I think he's a type of player they need more of. But he is going to be an attractive commodity that you could get. Do you think they could get a first-round pick for him or a second rounder? No.
Second round, maybe, not a first.
So you keep him then?
Yeah.
I'm with you. Because his name is starting to get out there. I'm like,
the ones you got to wonder is, does Domi have value on the market? Like, what's Domi's value on the market? Nyes is not being traded. Matthews isn't being traded.
Cowan's not being traded.
What's McMahon's value on the market?
That's a good one.
So you wonder about him. Do you do anything with Morgan Riley?
Could be time.
And I'm just asking. I don't like.
Oh, no, we're just. Yep. I
don't like talking about guys because I know it mentally it bothers a lot of men. I respect the guys too much. I don't like to drop names, but it's fair to bring it up, but I just don't like doing it.
If you're looking at the team, though, and you're looking at the lineup, what is the quality that you are focused on, whether it's getting it through?
You need a top. You lose Marner, you need a top 6 forward to play. You haven't done that.
Okay, so that's one.
You haven't done that. And you need a elite right shot defenseman.
2.
You need an elite one.
Mm-hmm.
You need a guy to run your power play. Last year I said it, and I will still say it. I'd have gone to Nashville, and I know Roman Josi played 1,000 games, and I get all that stuff, and I'd have done anything to move heaven and earth to get that guy, because I think he would have made a difference on that team last year. I'm just telling you.
Mm-hmm. So they've got
they need somebody like that. They need that. At the beginning of this year, they were way too easy to forecheck because they didn't have any.
That's the other thing I was going to ask. They need identity, Pierre.
No puck moving on the back end. It's just too easy. It's a hard game for their forwards to play because they're always stuck up against the boards.
Mm-hmm. So, going to be very interesting. This game could have a lot of ramifications, not just the present, but the future of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then the other game, Pierre, that you're going to be focused on, the Montreal Canadiens welcome the Vegas Golden Knights to the Bell Center tonight. Both teams coming off a loss. Montreal off a blown lead and a tough one in Boston. And then Vegas just laid an egg in Ottawa. What are you expecting from this game from both sides?
Vegas going to bring the heat tonight.
That's what
Montreal better be ready. Montreal better be ready.
Period's huge.
First
Huge.
10 minutes, massive.
Yep.
Because Vegas will be ready to go.
And the thing I don't like from Montreal on this too, and I know you'll agree with me, they've shown time and time again they have a hard time with heavy teams, with teams that come, that are built like the Vegas Golden Knights.
Well, if you get the heavy that you saw Vegas bring on Friday, then you got a problem. But if you get the heavy that Vegas didn't bring on Sunday, then you're going to be okay.
Yeah. I get the feeling the heavy they brought on Sunday was the result of the heavy they went out and celebrated with Mitch Marner the night before.
Yeah, I don't speculate.
That looks like guilty conscience to me, but we'll see. I
was looking at their lineup though, Jimmy, and the biggest thing is no Howden, no William Karlsson, no Braden McNabb, no Brandon Saad, no Carter Hart, no Colton Sissons. Like there are a lot of guys out of their lineup. And yet they're still right at the top.
Exactly.
You saw him play when he was in Boston. You think Jeremy Lauzon is a 1-2 defenseman in the league?
No.
So he's playing right now with Shea Theodore in the one pairing.
He's a great teammate, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, no. That part is you can't debate. But I'm just saying, like, where does he fit on a real good team? He's like a 5'6". That's what he is.
Exactly. Hey, great job. I know he's not going to be in the conversation probably, but you got to give Bruce Cassidy some credit for the way he's been getting them to play.
Cassidy's a really good coach. He's a really good coach.
He really is. All right, listen, you know what, Pierre? I was thinking, I know it's a little early for us, but we had some questions we left over from yesterday.
We're not doing that. We're making sure we get them all.
Let's get right to them. So let me tell you about our sponsors first. Vago Italian. They combine old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion. They are open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. Located at 1336 Green Avenue in Westmount in Montreal. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that's 514-846-1414. Man, I'd go for some nice hot soup and a chicken palm from Vago in this weather we're in right now. Pierre, by the way, you seen this new one that might be hitting us? The bomb cyclone, they're saying, might be hitting New England.
What's that mean?
I have no idea. It's one of these crazy new weather terms, but all they're saying, if it does hit us, we're getting another foot here over the weekend.
That would not be good.
No. It's getting a little too high here.
That'd be bad because you guys can't handle that much.
No. And we're right near the coast, and they're saying
I know that's what I mean. I know where you are, so it's no. That's
anyhow. All right, let's talk about Betway and man. I wonder if you could bet on storms. We should ask Betway about that, but I do know you can still bet the beauties in sports there. So go right there to that QR code if you're not a member yet, and sign up for your membership. And also, if you're not watching, you can go to the website. Go to the members section, fill out your details there, and you can still get the amazing membership deal where you get up to $300 back on your first deposit. You must be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Always bet responsibly. And remember, the offer is not available in Ontario. All right. I like a lot of things tonight, but I've narrowed it down to 3 so we can get right to these questions here. I'm going to start off in Boston, where the Boston Bruins come in to face a rested Nashville Predators team. Bruins, of course, blew one to the Rangers last night, lost 4-3. I actually like them to win the game, but I do like the Preds in the first period. So give me the Preds first period -120, and then the Bruins to win the game at -130. In Winnipeg is in New Jersey. Speaking of a team that needs to have a good homestand here, the New Jersey Devils hosting the Winnipeg Jets. I don't like this for the Devils right now. Coming in off a road trip, I think they're going to be a little sluggish in the first. Give me the Jets in the first period +100. And then we go over to Detroit, where the Detroit Red Wings are hosting the LA Kings. Of course, LA has a lot of trouble scoring. And right now, Mr. Gibson is not the goalie you want to face if that's the case. Give me the Detroit Red Wings at -125. And then one small prop, Chicago and Minnesota. I'm going to credit my friend Ian Cameron of the Ice Guys for pointing this out. Every time that Artem Leshevnov has scored, has played the Minnesota Wild in his career, and it's only 4 times, but 4 times so far he's played them, he has scored a goal. And if you bet him to score a goal tonight, you cash in at 15-1 odds. So throw a $5 bill.
He didn't in the rookie tournament this summer.
He didn't in the rookie? Okay.
No, but
Pro-wise, he has. All right, so that's my little prop for you there. And if you want, throw one on Oliver Moore. It's his first game back in Minnesota, plus 475. All right, let's go. What do we got in the questions? Simo, Pierre, what are your thoughts on Wyatt Kaiser's game this year? I think he's made some big strides. If you're Kyle Davidson this offseason at the deadline, what player position are you targeting? A top scoring wing?
Yeah, I would be going after wing. And Wyatt Kaiser's a courage guy. He's really made significant improvement. I remember Tony Granato talking to me about him a lot when Tony was up at Wisconsin. And I've watched Wyatt a lot. I think, Wyatt's a real good player, and he's continued to evolve and get better and better all the time.
All right, next question. Shane Boyven, I just seen Laval's last 2 games in Calgary. Fowler continues to struggle with handling the puck. Is this something to be concerned about, or is it something he'll grow out of?
He's going to grow out of it. He'll get better. He makes risky decisions. I think he's trying to do too much of it right now, but I don't think he's being discouraged from it either. I think they're encouraging him to play the puck, but I'm aware of those reports. So yeah, I get it. I understand. I definitely understand.
All right, next question. Bill Van Vago, I feel for Thatcher Demko. So do I, Bill. What are your thoughts on him moving forward? Is his career in jeopardy, or can he bounce back?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I would just say I feel really bad for the young man. I remember spending time with Thatcher when he was at Boston College. And really a lot of time. He's a really good person. And then getting to know him in the pod out in Edmonton, I really got to know him a lot, and like him so much. Just feel really bad.
All right, next question.
Very, very athletic family, by the way. Unbelievably athletic family.
All right. Hey, Jimmy and Pierre, question for both of you. If you could take control of any NHL organization right now, which team would it be and why? And are you interested to see if you'd prefer a rebuild or a contender?
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I'd take a rebuild. I like a rebuild.
I want to rebuild too.
Me too. And if I'm looking at one right now, because I do think it's high time that they have to do this. The Toronto Maple Leafs. Let me rebuild
the Nashville Predators.
All right. Nashville Predators for Pierre. I'll take the Leafs.
And it's not because Barry Trott's not doing a good job. This is all just what team would you want to do it with? Nashville. No tax state.
Ooh, good call, Pierre. See, this is why
Milwaukee's not far. Their resources for where their American League team is not far. And I think that marketplace is just going to boom. And you don't have to deal with the NBA there.
Yeah. So
that's why I think
that's something I did not think of. So many other things you got to think of. All right, next question. Hendrickson can play. If Jesper Wallstart is indeed on the market, what would it take for Kent Hughes to get him? The Wild are apparently looking for a center, so I don't know what the Habs would offer. I'd pay extra to resolve the net problem.
Yeah, they don't. I told Jimmy this before, whether it was last night or this morning, Jimmy, I forget. Why would Montreal? Who are they going to trade? Nick Suzuki?
Exactly.
That's the only player they got that Minnesota would want for a number 1 center. So they're not trading Nick Suzuki for Jesper Wallstad.
I'd look at Utah. That's where I think he ends up. If he's on the market, I don't know.
Who, Jesper Wallstad?
Yeah.
Did you see Vejmelka play last night?
I did.
No.
I've seen him play a lot, though, this season. He doesn't play that
really good. Hey, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I know they lost last night. But I'll tell you what, they deserved a better fate. They played well. That was a very good hockey game last night. Utah, Tampa. I'm sure the ratings would tell you most people didn't watch it, but that was a really good hockey game. I'll just tell you right now.
All right, next question. Kenny Kaminsky. What's up, Kenny? As a coach or GM, how do you handle prospects with maturity or attitude issues? And at what point do you decide it's better to cut your losses and move on?
Probably after 3 years. It's a 3-year runway. Some guys don't get 3. Some guys get 2. Some guys only get 1. But you bring them in and, you talk. I remember one instance where we had an issue with a player, and I was coaching, also assistant GM, and I called the agent up and I said, we got to do an intervention with the player because there's a problem here. And the agent didn't want to support the team. They want to support the player. And it turned out to be bad news for the player long-term. But you got to do it. Sometimes you got to have these hard discussions with kids, but you got to show them that you care and you want to help them, because that's really what you should be doing. Yeah. You got to try to help the kid all the time, and it's easy to get mad at the player, but you got to think about it. Like the player, what would you do if it was your son?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you got to look at it. What would you do if that was your son?
I like that, Pierre. And I think, see, I like what you're saying there, because obviously I get fans aren't going to have patience, but if you're working with the team, you need to have patience there.
Yeah. I mean, I remember delivering the Montreal Star newspaper in Montreal when I was a little boy, and they had drafted Guy Lafleur as a 20-year-old draft. And Lafleur put up, I think his rookie year, 20. Look it up, Jimmy. I think he scored 27 or 28 goals, if I remember correctly. And people were mad. They wanted Guy Lafleur traded. And it's like, are you crazy? And it was really nasty. I'm telling you. And they didn't have talk radio then. It was like just all these reports. Oh, breaking news. Fans want Guy Lafleur traded. I'm like, are you guys nuts? What was it? Where were his first 2 years in the league?
29 goals his first year, 28 his second.
So I was pretty close, Jimmy.
21 his third, and then he went on a tear.
Yeah, I was pretty close. So can
Yep.
you imagine in that league, they wanted him traded. He was a first overall pick.
Look at this too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive 50-goal seasons after that 21-goal season.
So you know what's really good? Scotty Bowman didn't give up on him. Okay, Claude Ruel didn't give up on him, but the key decision maker was the late Sam Pollock, and he definitely didn't give up on him.
No.
But if you would have been bullied by the media like some of these GMs are now, he would have been traded.
If they had social media then? Ugh.
Oh,
God.
oh,
God. All right, next question. What do we got? Jerbs, could the Habs trade one of their depth players for a prospect from the 23 or 24 draft that Habs scouts liked at the time, although it wouldn't help them this season? If yes, who's a good fit?
Oh, I think they could. That's too broad based. I couldn't give you an answer on that. But could they do this something? Yeah, sure they could. Absolutely. Teams do that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised. I remember Jamie Leach was having I'll use a name because he's long retired, but I like Jamie Leach. Jamie Leach was with us in Pittsburgh. He was a good player, but he was never going to play there. We had too many guys. So I left Pittsburgh after the second cup and went to Hartford, and we brought Jamie in, and Jamie played for us. And he played well for us.
Yep.
But did he do as well offensively as I thought? No, but Jamie was a good player for us. He really was. And I wanted to give him a chance, and I thought it was good. So sometimes you just take guys because Teddy Drury's another one. I had Teddy in Hartford, liked him a lot. He played really well, really, really well for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Hartford changed ownership and changed management and changed coaches, he became available. And we brought him to Ottawa, and he was a big part of the character turnaround of the Ottawa Senators, a huge part of it. By the way, Teddy Drury just got named to the Beanpot Hall of Fame yesterday.
Oh, cool.
I'm so happy for him. His son, Jack, for those that are fans of Colorado, his son, Jack, plays for the Colorado Avalanche, and his brother, Chris, is a GM of the New York Rangers.
Yeah, on that note, though, about these sort of prospect trades or stuff like that that fly under the radar, I was thinking there was a trade last week, Pierre. I forget who it was, 2 players between Colorado and Pittsburgh. It was like an AHL trade or lower, prospects that you don't know about. I'll pull it up in a bit. Yeah. But anyhow, it made me think, I'm like, there's probably so many of those little deals that they happen. We don't think anything about it. Doesn't get any flair in the news. But I'd love to look back to see if some of them ever really worked out for a team. Yeah,
they do.
And that's
Justin Brazeau. Look at Justin Brazeau. How's that one?
There you go.
Toronto, Minnesota.
Perfect example.
It's working out pretty good for him in Pittsburgh. It's going to get over 20 goals.
Yeah, he's getting a contract there for sure. All right, next question. Las Papas, can you explain to me why people want to move Demidov to first line or try to optimize goals in the first 2 lines while the issues lately are the 40% PK in the last 5 games? Good point, Las Papas.
It's a great point. It's really smart. Great hockey take. Love that a lot. Respect it a lot. It's a really good hockey take. No, I wouldn't be interested to move Demidov there. If you're going to move anybody, put Slav back there.
Yep. All right. Next question. Renaissance Resistor. Pierre, if you were given the GM role in Toronto and they should absolutely hire you, in all honesty, what approach would you take at a rebuild, retool with the club? Who would you build around? Yeah,
the number one thing is you got to rebuild their farm system. It's really important. I'd hit heavy into the college free agency market. I'd hit heavy into the free agency market per se, because there's going to be a lot of free agents available. Not NHL free agents. I'm talking about undrafted players who aren't going to get signed. But they got to start retooling there. I'd also look to insulate my, Matthews and Tavares. You got to keep them as long as you can. So you got to insulate them. And Nyes is a part of that as well. But you got to look at where your defense is, because right now the defense isn't good enough. And I don't mean, they're bad players. They're not slotted properly. They're old. They've taken on a lot of injuries, and it's unfortunate, but that's what happens with the older players.
All right, next question. David Robinson, what's up, Dave? How and why does player safety get that Rust suspension so wrong? They have all the replay tools. Is it just the star factor of Boeser?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. They just see things, and they do this a lot. I mean, you have to explain this to me. You know what I think of Brad Marchand. I'm a huge Marchand fan. I mean, traveled all over with him, think the world of him. He got away with a big one when he did the stuff with Matheson in Florida before the outdoor game, no suspension. You tell me that last night's hit or 2 nights ago hit on Sunday night in Vancouver is worse than that? No,
Not even close.
no.
All right, next question. Renaissance Resistor. If everyone is available in St. Louis, would you target?
I would actually. I know he's had kind of a down year, but he's won. His release point on his shot is outstanding. Like he's a legit player. I foresee if they're going to start breaking stuff up, and he's available, there won't be.
That would be a guy you're giving up on too soon. If you
that would be a mistake. I'd be surprised if they did that. But if he's available, you got to have the discussion.
Yep. All right. Next question. Nutty Joe, gentlemen, would you ask Brendan Gallagher to skip some games? Yep.
Nutty Joe, and I say that out of respect because that's your handle. I've been saying that for the last 3 weeks on Tony Marinaro's post-game shows. They need to do some load management with Brendan.
By the way, you'll find Pierre there again tonight after the Vegas Golden Knights Montreal Canadiens game. All right, next question. Tom Metvier. Hey, Tom, looking forward to the Olympics. Who do you think will be the starting goalie for Team USA? None of them have had spectacular years, so I kind of feel like it's wide open. Tom, I do too.
I do three. Yeah. I do.
And I'm wondering how they're going to determine that. Pierre, they don't have any warm-up games, do they, like to ramp it up?
No. Oh. They just get there and play. But if you want, I'll tell you who they're – hold on.
Oh, yeah, bring up the schedule.
I have the schedule here. My notes. Hold on.
So maybe you just start different goalies.
Oh, here the USA plays Latvia first, Denmark second, Germany third. So they're not playing a murderer's row of players. No,
right?
I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Latvia's going to play hard. Like they're going to play physical, and they're going to play. That's just how they do it, and it's not a fun game to play. No. I don't think they'll be able to manufacture enough offense against the Americans. So I don't know how you're going to judge. Denmark is not going to provide enough offense. It's just not. And Germany may be a little bit more of a push, but no. Yeah. So does each goalie get a game? No. I think they'll decide after the second game who's going to get the third game, and then they're going to go.
And then right again.
Because then you're in the qualifications or the quarterfinal, and then it's one and done. You're either you win and you move or you're done.
That's it. The
hardest schedule, by the way, Sweden has Italy, which will be probably their easiest game. Then they have Finland. Then they have Slovakia. They didn't get it, and they got a lot of injuries.
Yeah. By the way, congratulations to Hampus Lindholm and Marcus Johansson.
Yeah, that's good. Good pickup by you, Jimmy. And then Canada's got Czechia, which won't be easy. Swiss, which has a history of beating Canada at the Olympics in particular. I've seen it happen twice. Once in Vancouver and once in Torino. Mm-hmm. And then France.
Oof.
So
it's a tough one.
But so USA's got the easiest schedule.
All right, next question. Ethan Russell, what's up, Ethan? Do you think Buffalo has one of the best center depths in the league once Norris and Kulik are back? And do you think McLeod is a 2C or an elite 3?
He's an elite 3, and it's a really good question. Ryan McLeod's another one of those. You ask the question, okay, why did Edmonton let him go? Like what? I don't. If they give you a good answer, then you say, okay, I understand why you did that.
Mm-hmm. I don't have an answer for it, and I haven't seen one come from them yet. All right, next question. Tony in Montreal. If the Habs end up missing the playoffs, will it be a failure of a season, a cause of concern to the future, or is it an overblown statement?
I don't think cause for concern at all. This is going to be a really good team for a long time. I don't think they'll miss the playoffs. Do you?
No, I don't think they'll miss the playoffs, but I'm with you. If they don't, it's not the end of the world.
No, what I'd like to see at the end of the season is Michael Hayes signed, put him in Laval. I hope they have an amazing run, a lot like what Abbotsford did last year.
Mhm.
A lot like what Charlotte did last year, go on this big long run, get tons of games for those guys. And I'm just speaking to it from practical experience. Kids that are playing below pro hockey, they can play pro hockey, but then they get in the playoffs. And I'm just telling you what I know from having watched my son go through it. Regular season's one thing, and then the playoffs are way different.
Yep.
In pro, it's just, I know it just because I've been through it.
Mhm.
But when kids go through it the first time, they say, "Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like this. I watched it on TV, but I didn't know it was like this."
Yeah.
And then you get in there and you're like, "Holy mackerel.
Yep.
These guys play for keeps."
It's a grind. All right. Next question. Marco BG, follow up on the rebuild question. Jimmy, who are you keeping for the Leafs and who goes? Pierre, whose contract in Nashville will be the hardest to move and who do you build around? Me with the Leafs, I'm keeping Matthews. I'm trading Nylander. And then I'm going to revamp my defense with a mix of veterans and start to filter in some prospects if I can.
Yeah, I'm going to keep Steven Stamkos's contract. The hardest one for me to move, I think, will be Jonathan Marchessault. So I don't want to trade Philip Forsberg, and I don't want to trade Ryan O'Reilly. So I'm going to keep some really good older players around, and I'm going to just overload in the summer and get a lot of young kids in there.
All right. Next question. Rodney Redcliffe. Hey guys, what do you think of a trade for Michael McCarron and Philip Forsberg? I assume he means to Montreal.
Well, Michael McCarron is in Nashville, and so is Philip. So,
but
can you just tell us what you mean by that?
Where are we trading him? That's all we want to know.
That's all. Yeah.
All right, next question, and go back to Michael if we can after. Randy Workman, who gets the bread man?
I'm saying Detroit. I'm sticking with that. I don't know, Randy, but I'm thinking Detroit more and more. But we'll see. We'll see. I think the Kane situation matters a lot. I know everybody say, "Oh, Anaheim," because he likes Joel. I don't know about that. I don't know if Verbeek wants to go down that road. But Detroit. You want to win? Detroit's got a chance to do something they haven't done in a real long time, play a playoff game. They've never played a playoff game in Little Caesars Arena. It's about time.
It is. The only other team, Pierre, and I forget if you said it on here or off, but you said to keep an eye on Florida.
Yeah, I never stop looking at
Never doubt them.
No, Billy's good. And the only thing I don't know if they have what the Rangers want in terms of young players. I know their roster really well in Charlotte, that their American League team, because I've watched games there.
Yep.
I just don't know if they've got what Rangers would want.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Unless, I can tell you this, and I hate throwing names in there, but if Florida if they put Sam Miskevich in there, Sam Miskevich and Morrow played together with the Mid-Fairfield Rangers a long time ago, and he's a Connecticut kid. If they were to have him and other players, I could see it. But Mackey's an important player for Florida right now. He's good. He's played well there.
Yep.
So I don't know.
We'll see. All right, next question. Rodney. Oh, he said to the Habs. That's what we thought.
Oh, you want McCarron and Forsberg to that? No, I would not do that.
Yeah.
I'd take Forsberg, but I would not take it.
All right, next question. Formosa and Moose. I think Pierre mentioned Laine would fit great in Vegas. If the Habs retain 50%, could they ask for Pavel Dorofeyev? Yeah, and what would the Habs have to pay additionally to pry him?
They'd have to give a little more, but they could get retainer. I would take that player.
I would do that in a heartbeat. I don't think Vegas would do that, though.
No, they're not in a rush to do that. Dorofeyev plays with Hurdle and Marner. He's in their top six.
Fire lately, too.
So
fire. All right, next question.
What did you say?
I said he's on fire lately, too.
Oh, yeah, well, he's been all year. Yeah, I didn't hear what you said. Sorry about that, Jimmy.
All right, next question. CB, can you give listeners an honest eye test assessment of Mishkov? The hate talk it is getting drives me nuts. If anything, that team is outperformed based on how they look on paper. Thoughts?
Go ahead,
CB,
Jimmy.
100% agree.
Go ahead.
You want my assessment? I think the kid needs to work harder. I really do. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
I'm not there enough though to say that, I guess.
No, but I don't watch the practices, but I do watch the games.
Mhm.
And there's flaws in his game still. He needs to learn. He needs to learn how to compete without the puck. He needs to be harder with board play. He's got to get to the net more often. I mean, yeah, he's super slick. He's super skilled. I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing, a good friend of our show is Greg Cronin. I'm not even going to pretend. He's a 2-year coach in Anaheim. He's had a lot of success in his career. And I don't know if Zegras played well for him. I don't think he did in Anaheim. I don't think he did.
No.
But Zegras went and got a new place, and Tockett's done a good job with Zegras. Do you not agree?
Agreed.
So now, I saw Tocchet do a real good job with Phil Kessel too in Pittsburgh when they were winning
A lot
cups.
of people.
I saw Tocchet do a real good job out in Arizona with a lot of players,
Mhm.
a lot of players out there. So,
Yeah, I just think there's this, and I don't know whether it's social media because of all the, the video
think about
highlights.
it, Jimmy. In the summers, you and I were reading all the tweets out of Philly, like this guy's going to be rookie of the year. This guy's going to be this. Like, calm down.
Exactly, but why is there such a why is there such a rush to just let kids come in and play, regardless of if they make mistakes? Like, you have to teach them. You have to make them accountable. And I don't get why fans think they should just be able to do whatever they want. I don't know where this came from.
It's like people don't understand that this is a hard business, and you got to be hard on guys. If you're hard but you're fair, players don't get mad.
That's right.
Like, some guys may think you're an ass. They might think you're just a mean person. So what? It's not a popularity contest. Like, that's not how you win.
No.
I've seen a lot of really good people, a lot of really nice men coach at different levels of pro hockey, and they never won.
Yeah.
And they never won because guys would walk on them. They couldn't make hard decisions with the roster. They couldn't get mad at an official. Like, they wouldn't fight back with their GM if their GM or pro scouting staffs were doing bad things with player procurement. They're really, I'm telling you, I don't want to say their names, but really honorable, good men that I had the honor of coaching against. And it just, people will have a hard time understanding what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to state the way it is. It's
All right.
hard business.
What do we got? Next question. Jeff Lewis. Hey guys, how much trade activity do you think there will be before the Olympic break? I think there'll be a couple trades. A couple. Before I thought there'd be more, but I don't know. It's nobody wants to pull the first trigger from what I'm hearing.
For what now?
Just trades before the Olympic break.
Well, we just had one. The Rangers and the Islanders just made a trade yesterday.
Yep.
Carson Soucy for a 3rd-round pick.
Hey, I like that for the Islanders. I like that a lot.
Yeah, Carson's good. He'll be good. Patty got their attention yesterday. Barzell was ready to play yesterday. Wasn't he?
Yep.
There's what I'm talking about.
There we go.
Patty had to – she wasn't happy.
You had to lay the water.
You're going to watch the 3rd period. Right next to me.
And voila.
There you go.
All right. Next question. Derek Rendell. Hey, fellas, do you think Lane Hudson has changed the way scouts will now process smaller defensemen? I hope so.
I think that's part of it, Derek. I think it's a really good point. I think Quinn Hughes started that, but I think people are going to say, well, wait a second, you're going that far back? I think you could actually go back to a couple other smaller guys that actually played before that and did relatively well. And I think it probably started when just before the red line came out. Brian Rafalski would be one of those guys, and his agent, believe it or not, was Billy Zito. But I think Brian Rafalski would be one of those guys that you could look at, a Stanley Cup winner in New Jersey, a Stanley Cup winner in Detroit. And then there was more of an appetite. I saw people starting to have this appetite for smaller guys.
All right. Next question. What do we got? Big guy. Could you see the Habs making the playoffs, or do you see them fading? Goaltending and more grit is needed.
More grit for sure, and I think that's probably going to come. But I don't think the goaltending will be as bad as everybody thinks. I'll tell you what I told Jimmy this morning. I didn't like Montembeau's game in Boston. I didn't like it.
No,
I don't think anybody liked it.
Yeah,
Goalie's had a bad night. He had a bad night.
And by the I'm glad you brought up Montembeau there too. For people who were really bashing him, Pierre, I don't know if you saw it, for not facing the media after the game that night in Boston. So I don't know if you saw this, but yesterday he spent almost a half hour with 30 reporters around him. So credit for him. Like the people, it wasn't his choice. They wanted to get the heck out of Dodge because of the storm. There was kind of a big storm coming here.
Yeah, no, you know what? I didn't see it, Jimmy.
Yeah.
But here's what I'd say is most players will not pull the shoe when it comes to that. They'll take their medicine and go do it.
Yeah.
Some guys will. Some guys will, but most no. You're talking about such a minuscule portion of players. Most of them will take their medicine.
Yeah, and I just wanted to get the story straight there. That
Good
was
for you. Good. I agree, Jimmy.
All right, next question. Johnny loves puppies. What's your current evaluation of Kotkaniemi? I don't follow the Canes, but he seems to be a fourth line winger.
Yeah. Okay. The biggest foible happened his draft year. That should have been Brady Tkachuk. I said it before the draft. I said it during the draft, and I said it after the draft. Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
I know. Brady
Tkachuk in Montreal. I still can't believe that. I still get angry.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch, come on. Help me out here. How did that happen? Because a kid went to North Dakota and had a great U18 tournament? And Brady only had 8 goals his freshman year playing against men at BU. Do you remember how mad I was on Melnick?
Yes, I do. Even more baffling is what Carolina did.
Well, that was personal. They let their owner get involved and they made it personal.
Yep. All right, next question. Hendricks that can play. Shane Corson told a story of Bob Probert pooping on his car first day at camp in Ontario. Speaking of social media, you have a funny story that today's players could not get away with. I did not hear the story about Bob Probert. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting. This is really sad.
There's a lot of stories.
Yeah, the last time I saw Bob, honest to goodness, was at the airport in Toronto. And I went up to him very civilly and I said, Bob, Pierre McGuire, are you okay? Because he looked lost. And he said, yeah. And he didn't know where he was going. And I said, do you want me to stay with you? And he said, no, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go to baggage claim. I said, okay. And that's the last time I saw him. It was really sad. Yeah. Tell you what, Jimmy, he was a heck of a player.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody focuses in on the tough stuff.
Yeah.
He was a really good player.
He was a good player, man. He was a good player. All right, next question. Big guy. The Islanders, Panthers, and Habs currently lead the league in blown third period leads. How do you fix that?
Get better players.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure they don't panic. Institute better systems. Don't be afraid to call your timeout if you see your team's losing momentum. Nothing teaches you better than the 2011 Stanley Cup final, 2013 Stanley Cup final, Boston, Chicago. I reported it on NBC. It was Boston had a lead, but you could see they were in trouble. And to his credit, Claude Julien kept saying, boys, we're on our heels. We're on our heels. We got to get on our toes. Get on your toes. And soon as then Bickle scored and then Bolin scored and then the cup was on the ice and it was over.
Yeah.
So.
All right, next question. Excuse me, David Robinson. Looking at Poitras and Lysell at this point in the year in Providence, is there still hope for their development in the B system?
Yes, absolutely.
There's always
in a rush to get guys in. Who was I just saw a player. He's 28 years old. I'm trying to remember who it was. Just signed an extension with the team, and I apologize. I've just been concentrating on this 50 junior players thing. But anyways, he's a 28-year-old player, and he's a good player, but he just made the NHL like on a regular basis 2 years ago. So he's 26.
Yeah, there's always hope.
And there's expansion coming. Like you're going to need older players. I'm sorry. That's just how it's going to be.
Yeah. I just think I'm not so much for Poitras. I think, but with Lysell, I just think he needs a change of scenery. That's all. I think
again, the year he was drafted, I saw him out a lot, and
yeah,
I just didn't know if it was going to work in Boston because of the way they play. I just didn't know. I thought the kid had NHL talent, and I still do. I just didn't think it'd work in Boston. I just didn't.
All right. Next question. What do we got? Bill Van Vago. What does Montreal do with Line A? He's not a bottom 6 player, but is he a top 6?
Bill, I really think about moving him. I don't know if that'll happen, but I would think about moving him. I don't see them re-signing him this year. Do you, Jimmy, at the end of the year?
No. All right. Next question. Gerbs, due to the cap space, could the Habs take a step back and become sellers in order to take 2 steps forward?
I wouldn't take a step back because you still got all these young players filtering through your organization. I don't know why you'd want to take a step back. Just try to play playoff games. No, I wouldn't do that.
Don't make the playoffs. Don't panic. Just keep going.
Yep.
All right. Next question. Dave Strug, any concern whatsoever that Suzuki has a total of 7?
That's a really good one. I like Dave asking that. I think it's a byproduct of a few things. 1, Caulfield shredding it. 2, he's more of a distributor than he is a gunner. And 3, biggest thing is that I see some fatigue, especially because of the pressure of the Olympics, mental fatigue more than anything else. So I know I'm not concerned about that, but it's a very good question. Very good question.
All right. Next question. Simo, Pierre, your thoughts on the best landing spot for Pete DeBoer?
I have to stay out of this.
Yeah.
Just because I have to, as you know.
Yeah.
I have friends that coach in different situations that are in pretty precarious positions right now, and I don't feel comfortable
just
talking.
So we don't offend anybody, and
just don't feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
I've been in their shoes, and I just don't like doing it. So
yeah. All right, next question. Ethan Russell, what a month Michael Rabel is having for UMass. I think he's NHL ready next year.
That's one of the reasons why Carvey wanted him back. Coach Carver wanted him back another year so he would be NHL ready. Yeah. The 2 World Juniors he played helped a lot too. The fact that they medaled helped a lot too.
I do think he'll have a chance at least.
He's got a legitimate chance, and if he's not, he goes to Tucson. So what?
Yep.
All right. He's going to play in the NHL.
Yeah.
Rabel's going to play in the NHL.
All right. Next question. What do we got? Tony, how long is a leash on Reinbacker's development? At what point do you start to worry a 5th overall pick?
No, he'll be playing in the NHL next year.
Plenty.
He'll be playing in the NHL next year, unless he gets hurt again. But he'll be playing in the NHL next year.
All right. Next question. Gabriel Lamb, where would Evander Kane fit?
There are a bunch of places he would fit.
Yes.
You have to have a coach that understands how to deal with him too. And if you have good internal leadership, I think Evander wants to try to win. I was like, I've told the story a million times. I was there when he got cut from the World Junior team in 2009 in Ottawa, and I went on the air and I blasted Hockey Canada bad, really bad. And then there was an injury, and that's when Pat Quinn grabbed me at the hotel in Ottawa. McGuire, get over here. And he says, your boy Kane is back on the team. He better play well. And that's enough. Shut up. And I said, okay, coach, I'll shut up.
You know where I think would be a great landing spot for him, Pierre?
Where?
Florida Panthers.
Florida be good.
The nucleus they have of leadership.
He'd be good. He fits into their style.
Yep.
What about Washington?
Washington's got to figure out what's going on.
Well, that's what I mean, but would he not help them?
He would help them. I just don't know. Are they buyers?
What about Vegas?
Vegas, I could see for sure. Vegas, definitely.
They like Western Hockey League guys.
Yep. There you go.
They're not afraid.
Nope. I like that for sure.
Vegas would be a good spot.
All right. That is all we have. Amazing questions as always. Thanks, everybody.
You folks are amazing. I'm so grateful for the interaction. It really means a lot. Thank you.
Yep. Good stuff. Thanks to Shane working the boards up in Montreal. And thanks to all our viewers and listeners out there. We will talk to you tomorrow.
What about the ECAC women?
Oh, yes. That's right. We are going to ECAC women's in the beginning of March and the ECAC men's later on in the month. We will be there as we get closer. We will have our broadcast details for you. Working on another road trip as well. Have not finalized it yet, but when we know if it's a yay or a nay, we will let you know. But again, thank you to Shane up in Montreal. And remember, Pierre will be on the post game for the Knights and Canadians tonight with Tony here on the Sick Podcast Network. And we will talk to you here on the Eye Test tomorrow.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.